Good morning, Kale. How are you? Over on Twitch this morning, I see. All right. Well, we're back and we're going to do some more boot.dev. Morning, Steven. I'm stuck in ads. Well, thanks for watching them. Okay. Boot.dev. We will do the boot deving. Oh, now you're over on YouTube. I like the pivot. I like the pivot. Smart man. Let's see. We're going to. Oh, music. 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 Okay. We're vibing. We're vibing. Turns out not too hard. Let's see. I'm refactoring. Turns out not too hard. Just copy paste stuff. One good use for AI. Yes, I mean AI. I mean AI does have a lot of good use cases. I feel like one of the things that AI has done is it's made it relatively it's been made it relatively cheap to sort of explore different ways of doing things that you might have thought about doing, but you never would have really tried to do it that way because it would have taken you so much time, right? So like I guess what do I mean by that? I mean, like you have a couple different ideas for how you do something or implement something, and AI makes it fairly cheap to just say, show me what it would look like if, right? And if you don't like the way it looks, you just throw it away, right? You didn't really waste that much time. So like in a for example, like in refactoring, right? You're like, well, would it look like if I put this over here and this with that? And maybe the AI doesn't do it quite the way you would have done it, right? It still allows you to visualize it. Make it easier for me to split this. Yeah, exactly. It does make it a lot easier. It does make it a lot easier. Totally agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, I still think one of my I still think selfishly for myself, uh, I spend so much time pretty much working alone on my projects, and so I am I'm not saying AI is a great stand-in for another human being, but as somebody who doesn't always have another human being partnering with them on projects and stuff, it is nice to be able to author something and then say, hey, would you mind take a run at this, take a look at this. um, I still think though it's only super useful for that use case if you know enough about what you're doing to know if the AI is actually gaslighting you or leading you astray, right? That's still the that's still the tricky part, to some extent. Yeah, yeah. It's it's nice or I guess for me, it's nice as long as I feel like I still understand what's going on. Yeah, only when it's only when it's trained on my shit. Only when it does things the way I want them done. how quickly the tables turned. All right, what were we doing here? We're doing something with strings. Let's see. Create a new directory in the same parent directory as hello go. I'm actually going to put this off to the side. I have too many monitors to be just looking at this thing on a tiny little screen. Yeah, we're going to need a new window. But we need the Ubuntu window. Or I guess, is it Ubuntu? I don't know. How do people say that? Ubuntu? This is Ubuntu? So you want us to go to go hello, or no, hello go. And in here, in the same parent directory as hello go, and my strings. Oh, we gotta go up one more. So call date test. Okay, make dir date test. Ubuntu. Yeah, Ubuntu. That checks out. Okay, now we gotta go into date test. Wonderful. Oh, I should probably. Well, that rules out the first test. Huh. So today when I started my stream, I tried bypassing the switch that was between my computer and the router. Well, that is crappy. Well, I guess now we know the switch wasn't part of the problem. I say Ubuntu. What was that notification? One 585750374. There's that. I don't know where that alert's coming from. It's not coming. Is it coming from Meld? No. Is that a Discord alert? Let's see. Yeah, I think that might have been a Discord alert. It was weird. Okay, convert 34 converted to tiny time is TTT. Okay. Now we need to do go mod init, GitHub, date test, go mod tidy. Compile and run your program. Go build. Date test. Run and submit this. Copy, paste. Oh no! Damn it. Converted to 158.57.50.374. Converted. Ah, I missed the converted. I put convert. Oh, that's so annoying. So annoying. I should have just copy and pasted. I should have just copy and pasted. Oh, I missed multiple words. Okay, what the fuck, bro? Screw it. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing. Are you working today, or is this during your break? I am working today, but it is 4:48 in the morning, my time. 4:48 a.m. my time. So this is just in my free time. But I will be working. Dude. What in the actual hell is happening right now? Sigma male grind set? What is Sigma male? What's that mean? Ye old effect. You'll have to forgive me. I'm 33. I don't have the most up-to-date knowledge on internet slang or culture. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Grinding super early in the morning? Yeah, it just makes the it just serves as the best time for me, since I have 2 little kids and a wife and a day job. So if I stream later at night, I'm kind of like ignoring my wife. After the kids go to bed at 8, if I come down and sit on the computer for 4 hours, then I feel bad because I'm kind of like ignoring her. But then with my kids, if I stream when my kids are awake, after work, then I miss all the time with them that I normally would get, after work. So waking up early is kind of the only real way to stream regularly on a consistent basis. I'm sure that will change as my kids get older, but for right now, this is the season of life we're in, so. This is how we get it done. I don't understand why this is failing. I've basically used up all my armor attempting this. Let me just read through this nice and close. So it's expecting standard out to contain all of this. Okay. So to me, oh shit, I know why. Because I needed to rebuild it. Gosh dang it. That's so silly of me. It's early. I haven't finished my first cup of coffee. Cut me a break, okay? God dang, dude. That pisses me off. All right, clean packages. I've often seen and have been responsible for throwing code into packages without much thought. I've quickly drawn a line in the sand and started putting code into different directories, which in Go are different packages by definition, just for the sake of organization. Learning to properly build small, reusable packages can take your Go career to the next level. Rule of thumb, hide internal logic, don't change APIs, don't export functions from the main package. Packages shouldn't know about dependence. Should you export your code from the main package? Nope. When should you not export a function, variable, or type when the end user doesn't need to know about it? Should you often change a package's exported API? No, try to keep changes to internal functionality. Okay, we're talking about concurrency. Okay, what is? We're gonna go ahead and listen to this one.
Let's break down what concurrency is and how it can be used to make your applications faster. Take this simple code: x equals 5, x plus plus, and print x. This is sequential or synchronous code. Each line runs one after the other. First, x is set to 5, then it's incremented, then it's printed. Nice and easy. But this isn't always the fastest way to run code. And to understand why, we need to talk about your CPU. Every CPU has a clock speed, which is a measure of how many clock cycles it can perform per second. For example, a 3.5 gigahertz CPU can perform about 3.5 billion clock cycles per second. And in our example from before, and I know this is an oversimplification, but we can say that we have 3 instructions to carry out: setting x to 5, incrementing x, and printing x. And how fast we can execute these instructions depends on our hardware. To make the program faster, we can either reduce the number of executions the program needs to execute, or use a CPU that can execute more instructions per second. But let's assume that we can't really optimize our program anymore. And faster CPUs are expensive and they have physical limits. So instead of increasing the clock speed, it's actually often more cost effective to instead increase the number of CPUs, or specifically increase the number of cores within the CPU. You've probably heard of a quad-core processor, and that just means 4 separate cores all in one computer. Say each core can handle about 3 billion instructions per second. Well, if we have 4 of them, now we can potentially do 12 billion instructions per second, but only if we can actually execute all the instructions in parallel. And that's the catch. Not all programs can easily make use of multiple cores at the same time. Again, take our earlier example. Setting x to 5, incrementing x, and printing x, we can't parallelize this because the instructions depend on each other. We can't increment x before it's initialized, and we can't print x before it's incremented. But let's say that we added some more code. Y equals 6, y minus minus, and print y. Now, these 2 blocks are actually independent of each other. So we can assign one block to one core and the other block to the other core. Now, sure, if we ran both blocks on a single core, it might take 6 CPU cycles. Again, I'm waving my hands here. But if we split the 2 blocks and run them on 2 different cores, then each core can actually work in parallel or at the same time. And
hey, Rockin' Brain.
program
Hello,
can run
Estefanos.
half the time,
I think
3
my
cycles.
My terminal
when we're
chat
doing
broke.
compute-intensive logic, we usually want to structure our code so that big
Well, that's no
sections of it
bueno.
can run in parallel to take advantage of all the cores that are available on the machine.
We like all our cores. We like to take advantage of our cores. Huh, I wonder why that broke. Good morning. Okay, it's back. Huh. I wonder why well, I'll have to look at the logs, see why my chat broke. Ulas, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Just trying to test out my chat app, but it seems to not be going well. Huh. No errors. It just seems like the chat died or something. Also, why didn't my alert play? What's happening? Oh, because I don't have SpeakerBot running. Dang it. God, I'm really falling down on this whole streamer thing, aren't I? Falling down on the job. There we go. Oh, that still didn't work. What the heck? Oh, also now it's like permanently stuck on the screen. Hmm.
This is a test message.
Okay, that's working. It's like it's airing out or something when it's trying to execute the let's see. New gifted mem, new no, that's a new Twitch follow. Edit. Okay. Yep, that's what we want. I wonder if somehow I broke this by changing stuff like that really bothers me. I remember being a kid being pissed off that games aren't better parallel so it would run faster. Oh, the Naivety of youth. Good morning, caffeinated minds. Yeah, games are hard. Concurrency is hard. It's difficult to think about. Refactor was easier with AI. All done. Nice, nice. Killer, killer. I like it. I like it. Well, okay. Well, stream alerts seem broken now. I'm not really sure why, but at the moment they seem busted. Should be a 5-second delay, so it's not getting here. So I wonder if it's so it sets the text, it displays the alert. Does it get to the vertical? Sorry, I'm live troubleshooting this at the moment. I've gotten very distracted. Test trigger, simulate. Does it trigger the other one too? Oh, it does. Dang it. What am I gonna do here? Okay, I have to go by for a second and then the stream's gonna come back, but I forgot to do something when I started. So, I will be right back. But I'm gonna go offline for a second. Go. Am I back? Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Does anybody hear me? Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry about that. I think what happened was Twitch follow.
Did we just become best friends?
I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. So good. So good when you figure out what the problem is. The best feeling ever. Call me master troubleshooter. Hello, Gunhighs. Good to see you. Hello, we can hear you. Thank you for confirming. All right, back to concurrency. Sorry, I completely... What a chaotic start to the stream. Okay. Well, that's what I get for trying to screw with my settings yesterday. Very nice. Cool. Good to see you, Gun Highs. Thanks for being a member. Caffeinated Minds, thanks for being a member. Kale, thanks for being a member. I forgot to say thank you this morning. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's see, at Text.io, we send a lot of network requests. Each email send must go out over the internet. To serve our millions of customers, we need a single Go program to be capable of sending thousands of emails at once. Edit the send email function to execute its anonymous function concurrently so that the received message prints after the sent message. Okay. Oh, thank you for being a streamer. Well, I do my best. I do my best. I don't think I'm quite as entertaining as I would hope to be. I keep telling my wife she needs to become a streamer because she would be far more entertaining than me. But I have fun. I have fun each morning and I get stuff done. And it's always nice to talk to you all. I feel like I learn a lot from chat most days. Well, I appreciate that, Kale. Thank you very much. I try to create just a cozy little space where we can all hang out and be nerdy together, maybe do some co-working, drink some coffee, tea, whatever your beverage of choice is. Okay, so we are gonna do, well, hold on, what does it print now if we run this? Email received, email received, email sent. Okay, I see what you mean there. So if we change this to be go, hit run. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, in the example above, yeah, zero entertainment here, only work. And as once one peon from Warcraft said, work, work. Now the AI is gaslighting my code because it looks so much nicer in 11 files than it did in one. But is it better? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, smaller files is usually better. It's usually a little bit easier to grok. As I'm in a different time zone, this is a great co-working stream for me. Great space. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad it works out. Ring of Retry has returned. At least I had a thing for a split second. Oh, did you really? So I tried today to stream by to take the switch out between my computer and the router, but that doesn't seem to have improved anything. So I think I did caffeinated minds. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes when you're building stuff, that's how it starts out, right? Like, it makes it. I think a lot of times when you're building something, authoring it in a single file is totally fine, right? When you're getting started, because you have all the context in one place, you can see everything, right? I think at some point though, your program does grow, and then you start having a hard time. Like it becomes a necessity to split it and abstract it away. Otherwise, it's just too much. Right? So I think that would be a pretty common pattern for a lot of people, like start in a main.js or a main.go or you know, whatever your entry point file is, and just dump out everything that's in your head until you get to the point where you can't make sense of it anymore, and then refactor. I bet your wife is trolling your stream, pulling and putting in the Ethernet cable. That would be absolutely fucking hilarious if we came to find out that was what was going on the whole time. That would make me laugh so much. If I had to guess, I changed a bunch of settings on my computer I changed a bunch of network adapter settings related to power management. And I thought maybe that would make it better. I took out the switch. That didn't make it better, apparently. So I think tomorrow what I'll do is I'll try using a restream service and see if maybe it's just a... I mean, what's crazy is if you look at my CPU, when I stream, my CPU on average is not crazy high. It's sitting at 31%. So I'm kind of suspicious it's a heat thing. Maybe. So I'm curious if I switch over to like a restream, if I see any better results, maybe just offload some of the processing, because I am software encoding 2 different streams to do 2 different platforms. Which I would think 20 cores would be enough to do that, but maybe it's just still too much with everything I have going on. The buffer float test was a B plus, I think, on that website. So I feel like it maybe is a little bit of an issue, but maybe not the issue, you know? So that's kind of my getting a new router is kind of the last of my, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to go out and buy hardware and then go through the process of setting it all. Like, it's such a pain in the ass, right? Inconclusive. Yeah, I guess you would say inconclusive. They just gave you a score on that website, and so I thought, okay, well, I must have a little bit, because Because if I didn't have any, I would have scored an A, right? Yeah, it's a heat problem. We are all hot boys. She's putting tinfoil around it. Yeah, I don't know. I the only thing that makes much sense is, yeah, I don't know. I can't make sense of it because if I run a ping while streaming and I lose connection on the stream, the ping is never interrupted. So it's not like it's an actual disconnection. It makes me think it's something very hardware specific to the computer. And the only thing I can think of is some sort of, either I'm stressing the CPU, but the CPU usage is not super high. I mean, it stays pretty even keel the whole time we're streaming, unless we're compiling Rust or something. Or it's a heat thing, like it's throttling and momentarily causing hiccups. Or maybe something in the Ethernet cord. I.e. masking and other issues, huh? Yeah, I don't know. This problem escapes me. The problem is that you're writing C# and the stream defends itself. Oh my goodness, dude. So we need to do that here. Is somebody writing C#? I must stop them. We must stop them from authoring such code. Did you guys see the I don't want to do that right now. Did you guys see the thing that OpenAI really? He writes go, it go. OpenAI released that thing about Hugging Face, and apparently the model like hacking it. Did you guys see that? This thing. I don't know if anyone read this or saw any of the headlines. Crap, I made a mistake. They're supposed to be not writing C#. Oh, that makes more sense based on you being the one that said it. Yeah. Yeah, it's shaking its fist at us because we're using Go. How dare you betray me? Okay, like maps and slices, channels must be created before use. They also use the same make keyword. Send data to a channel. The something operator is called the channel operator. Data flows in the direction of the arrow. This operator will block until another Go routine is ready to receive the value. Receive data from a channel. This reads and removes a value from the channel and saves it into the variable v. This operation will block until there's a value in the channel to be read. Channels are first in, first out, meaning values are received in the same order as they are sent. Like maps and slices, channels are reference types. Changes made inside a function affect the original. How long it's been, Steven? I don't even recall when I first came to your stream. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, 8 months, maybe 9 months. I mean, I think I've been streaming intermittently since December of 24, and then I got real consistent with it. I guess I got real consistent with it towards the like March. I don't know. It was like springtime of 2025. I got consistent with it. I was streaming like an hour over lunch, and then an hour. I was usually doing like an hour over lunch and then an hour while working out. And that worked pretty good for a little while. And then when we moved to this house in the fall, I started just streaming super early in the morning. And that schedule's worked out, I think, better for me for now. I don't think I want to stream this early in the morning forever, but I think once my kids get a little bit older, I'll probably move the stream to like the evenings, the afternoons or evenings. But for now, this works pretty good. I don't know. I have lots of time. I have 19 years of time to pass before I can theoretically retire, so we can explore everything. Okay, go with the go stuff. I'm stopping you. Work. Yeah. Yeah, you're interrupting me. Quit interrupting me. Let's see. Run the program. You'll see that it deadlocks and never exits. The send is old function is trying to send on a channel, but no other Go routines are running that can accept the value from the channel. Fix the deadlock by spawning a Go routine to send the is old values. Okay, I think they just want me to put Go here. Yeah, sorry, I'll vanish in the shadow now like Bob Knoll. Bob Knoll's still around, but Bob Knoll I think he lives on the East Coast maybe, so he still has to get up pretty early to make it to one of my streams. But I see him occasionally, like when I hang out in the Primogen streams, I see him occasionally sending chat in the Prime. So he's around. It's just hard. I think it's hard if people are in the States, you know, if they're in the same time zone as me, plus or minus an hour. I think it's just hard for people to make it to a stream at 4 in the morning, which is totally understandable. I probably wouldn't make it to many streams at 4 in the morning if I wasn't the one doing the stream. Let's see. Our TextIO server isn't able to boot up until it receives the signal, but its databases are all online. It learns about them being offline by waiting for tokens, empty structs on a channel. Run the code. It never exits. The channel pass to wait for a DB stays blocked because it's only popping the first value off the channel. Fix the wait for DB's function. It should pause execution until it receives a token for each of the number of DB's databases from the DB channel. For each time wait for DB reads a token, the get DB's channel go routine will print a message to the console for you. Look at the test code to see how these functions are used so you can understand the control flow. Okay, so get DB's channel fires off a go routine that loops over the number of DBs and sends this anonymous struct through the channel, increments the count. Okay. Wait for DBs is reading from the channel, but isn't actually doing anything with it. Okay. So after the download is done, send a signal to the channel. Block until download data sends the signal that it's done. Okay, it should pause until it receives a token. So is it not pausing? Is that what they're saying? It's not. I don't know exactly what they're asking me. Let's see. I'm confused. What exactly are you asking me to do? To do here? It looks like... Also, where are the print statements? Testing 3 databases. Oh, are you just asking me to receive it? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Like this, and then maybe say... Yeah, I don't know what they're asking me to do. So we're going to throw some salmon at Boots. Let's see, the endless ... output is your clue. Your wait for DB's function is only reading 1 token off the channel before it returns, but the test keeps waiting for count to reach number of DBs. A loop that runs. Wait for DBs is supposed to block until it received a token for every database, not the first one. Right now, your function does DB channel exactly once, then returns immediately, even if there are 3 or 4 databases still coming online. The test loop then sits there. Think about it this way. If you're waiting for 4 friends... So, what, you just want me to loop, I guess, over it? You just want me to do this? For I equals 0... I plus plus, I is less than, oops, I is less than num of DBs, I plus plus. And you just want me to read that in? Hey, what's up there, Gregor Mendel? How are you? Nice to see you this morning. I've read that Go is perfect for microservices and micro APIs. Is that something you can concur? So I've not really used Go for anything like that. I've really not had any experience with Go production sort of code or anything, any software that's built with Go that was used, you know, like the company I work for, we don't use Go anywhere. I've only used Go for building a TUI, building like a toy API, and building a static website. That's all I've used it for. Gregor Mendel, we are doing wonderful this morning. We're drinking some coffee. We are learning about Go. Life is good. No, I don't know how to say that username. I'm going to have SpeakerBot say it for me.
Noveana.
Noveana. Good morning, Noveana. Hope you're doing good. Apologies for being so inept with my language skills. Okay, buffer channels. Channels can optionally be buffered. You can provide a buffer length as... Oh, and back to the microservices thing, I guess I should say... I feel like that would make sense. I feel like Go would be just useful for anything that has concurrency needs. You want simplicity, simple deployment story, you know what I mean? Self-contained executables. Go is fairly easy to write, so you can use it for anything really, but microservices is more of an architectural challenge rather than a pure programming challenge. That's a great point, Thunder Deer. That's a great point. I also think microservices is even more of a... It's more of an organizational... it's an architecture that is a response to an organizational structure, right? When you have hundreds or thousands of engineers that all need to be making changes and committing code regularly, it's like you're sort of forced to kind of decompose the thing you're building as much as possible. Otherwise, it sort of becomes untenable, right, to manage from just a process perspective. We want to be able to send emails in batches. A writing go routine will write an entire batch of email messages to a buffered channel, and later, once the channel is full, a reading go routine will read all the messages from the channel and send them out to our clients. Complete the add emails to queue function. It should create a buffered channel with a buffer large enough to store all of the emails it's given. It should then write the emails to the channel in order and finally return the channel. Okay. So we want to say chan make. We want chan of type string, and we want it to hold whatever the length of emails is. Then we want to return it. Then we want to loop over for email range over emails. And we want to just send the email into the channel. Like so. Yeah, like that. You know, I never really thought about some of the stuff I have running on my computer and how that could affect. Let's see, you're backed up, backup, pause until you, so it shouldn't back up till midnight. Okay. Let's see, channels can be explicitly closed by a sender. Nice. Checking if a channel is closed. Don't send on a closed channel. At Text.io, we're all about keeping track of what our systems are up to with great logging and telemetry. The send reports function sends out a batch of reports to our clients and reports back how many were sent across the channel. It closes the channel when it's done. Complete the count reports function. It should use an infinite for loop to read from the channel. If the channel is closed, break out of the loop. Otherwise, keep a running total of the number of reports sent. Return the total number of reports sent. Okay. So we'll say sent is here. We'll return sent. Make an infinite loop. We'll try to read from the channel. So this will be because I have like a really low end VPS, like 256 megabytes, 3 gig storage. I'm starting to see that Go might be a good solution for my bottleneck APIs and other stuff like that. Yeah, you could probably, you could probably don't have to use Go for that, but you could use .NET. .NET has channels. I don't know if channels would fix your problems. I guess it depends on what you're doing in those APIs. Also, writing microservices as one person is a lot easier. You think it is? I don't know. I feel like building something with microservices as an individual person is maddening. As an individual, I'd much rather just build something that's kind of a modular monolith than microservices myself. But we need to do channel. Or I guess in this case, it would be, what are they sending us? Reports? I guess we could do batch. Like that. Success. See, similar to slices and maps, channels can be ranged over. Wonderful. It's that time again. TextIO is hiring, and we've been assigned to do. Yeah, but it's still easier to write microservices as a one-man team rather than having microservices in a huge org. At least the planning only has to go through. Oh, well, yeah, yes, but imagine if you were building a monolithic application and you were doing that in a huge organization, right? So not only do you have the coordination nightmare of the teams, but then you also have like the technical coordination of all the code changes, right, coming in from lots and lots of people. I feel like I'd rather have the organizational challenge than the ever evolving complexity of merging people's code into the same code base. I miss programming like this. Every programmer I know just talks about AI. So boring. Perhaps just different kind of topic. Oh yeah, I think it's just the state of the union right now. You know, people are kind of ate up with AI, and I think there's a lot of anxiety around it. And so I think people largely deal with their anxieties by, you know, fixating and talking about and discuss. You know what I mean? So it'll go away eventually. It'll eventually become. You know, I think LLMs to programmers will eventually become like IDEs, right? It's just a thing that all of us have access to, and we all have particular ways we like to use it, you know, and it won't be so much of a pervasive, it won't occupy so much of our collective mind share. Um, for me, I still just really enjoy the active programming. I do. I just encountered another disconnect. But I still enjoy myself. And I've got a ways to go for retirement, so I'm just trying to make money, invest my money, and enjoy my time. Hey, what's up, Bradley? How are you? Okay, I pushed new version to Git. I wouldn't bother updating your fork until I actually add features. Yeah, I think what you have there for me is plenty of feature, you know, very feature rich. Microservices are mostly done wrong by the majority of companies. Nice. I think microservices should own all of their own state and not have overlapping concerns between others. This is just not in the majority of companies / microservices that are made out in the wild. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from what I've read and heard. I've not had experience working in a shop where microservices used heavily. So I'd take your word for it. I just feel like it's boring content. I used to read a little bit what the T3 guy wrote on Twitter or put on YouTube, even though I didn't really agree with him mostly. Now he is almost 100% talking about AI. I mean, everyone's talking about AI. I mean, I'm not a big Theo fan myself. I think I've shared that on stream. I don't find him particularly... I guess I just find him particularly condescending. Like whenever I listen to him or watch his videos or read his blog, basically the way it lands on me is he's so smart and I'm so dumb, and here's why. So I don't know. I'm not saying that that's what his intentions are. I'm sure he's a nice human being and everything. It's not my cup of tea. But what I was going to say is everyone's making AI content. I mean, Kent C. Dodds, he's making AI content, right? It's like when Kent C. Dodds is making videos about Fable YOLOing infra migrations. I don't know what to do, man. Like we're We're stuck. Yeah, I've actually the people I've been watching. I don't know if you guys have heard of Jeff Greeling. He's based in St. Louis, I believe. Greerling, yeah, this guy. He used to work at, I think, Red Hat. I think is where he used to work. I don't think he does that anymore, but he's been making a lot of good content that's not really AI related. It's a little bit more hardware based, but he's somebody I've been watching a lot of. Bash Bunny's pretty good. Janet A. Carr is pretty good. There are some people out there who are still passionate about the craft of software, I think, still. And I think a lot of the people who are making AI content are passionate still about the craft. I think they're just trying to meet the moment, right? Most of these people make a living from content creation, or they make a living from educational products, and they're trying to stay relevant in the marketplace. That's how they make their money, you know. And so I can't really fault them for that kind of stuff. It is what it is. I feel like no one in my team wants to talk about anything other than AI. I tried to speak with a senior dev in my team about union types coming in C# 15 and just a blank face. Oh, that's really sad, because union types, like, if you're not excited about union types in C# 15, like, come on, man. That's like a language feature that people have been desperate for like a decade. It's very exciting. My tip is watch T-Soding. That is some real artisanal program. Dude, T-Soding is hilarious. He's very good. Very good. Very funny. Very good. I second that recommendation. I still watch a lot of Call of Duty streamers. I watch Tim the Tapman. I watch Bobby Paw. I watch Rallied. Sometimes I'll turn on Burnt Peanut in the evenings. Watch him. He's always funny to watch. The tech space is just in a weird place right now. It won't always be like this. Eventually, the crypto bros and the hype bros, they'll move on to the next thing. There will be market dynamics, right, that come along, and there'll be something. This will go away, and something else will take its place, and we'll all be able to return to somewhat more normal, I think, reality. I watch some Prime vids now, but they can hit and miss for me. Fireship to keep up with AI slop and other things. Fireship's always good. I'm a big Prime. I think the Primeagen has done a good job of trying to. I think he's done a good job of trying to reflect a desire to still care, but also a desire to want to be educated and knowledgeable about the technology so that he can speak to them and have a conversation about them, which is, I think, what I've done. You know, I mean, I have Copilot installed on my machine. I've used Open Code. I've used all those things, you know, so I think for most of us, that's probably the right response, is don't let your skills die. Stay up to date, stay relevant, be able to speak to these things, you know. Do what the boss man says. Keep the boss man happy so you can get your paycheck. And and just build a life you enjoy and you have fun and can lay your head on your pillow at night and sleep well. Hey Steven, when is going to be your next Rust project? I miss those long compiler errors, cannot borrow moved value. So my current Rust project is a Tory app. It's kind of a simple Tory app. All it really does is it allows you to register a shortcut. Then that shortcut can be used to copy. You can also override the default copy if you'd like to do that as well. It just runs as a little utility in the system tray. And when you copy things, it basically does a couple different things. It strips out any like tracking parameters from URLs. It converts any strange characters like M dashes or strange quotation marks to their like ASCII equivalents. And that's what I've been working on in my free time. I just haven't been working on it on stream because of AI Summer. I've kind of been protecting some of my own projects and just enjoying them for myself and trad coding on them in my free time without anybody. It's like the term chat. I've been working on this terminal chat thing in my free time for a while now, and now I'm kind of bringing it out to test it and actually use it. But yeah, so that was my most recent Rust project. Rust project we do on stream. I don't know when I'll feel ready to bring back some of the at least things I care about onto stream. I thought about doing like members only or subscriber only streams for Twitch and YouTube and work on projects there, and then that might help avoid a lot of the AI chatter. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's see, create a new channel of ints. So make chan int. And do I need to give it, a size, don't I? Yeah, make chan, no, I don't have to give it a size. That's only for buffered. So make chan size, and then call Fibonacci concurrently. Use a range loop to read from the channel and append the return values to a slice. Return the slice. Okay, so we'll call slice equals this guy. We'll return that guy. I'm currently working through the Rust book. So far, so good. I can see the traction to the language coming from C# where there can be legal state everywhere. Yeah, I think Rust is interesting for a lot of reasons. I like the speed, the compiled speed. I like the speed of that program once you compile it. I like sort of the compiler-driven nature of the, compiler-driven development of it, where you can essentially kind of almost have the compiler sort of walk you through what you did wrong or what you need to do next, which is kind of nice. I really love the way that enums work in Rust. I like that you can associate data with enums. It's just really, really nice. Yeah, there's definitely ugly parts of it. I mean, there's definitely, I still fight with the whole borrow checker system a little bit. That still is not second nature to me. But I think that's just going to come with time. I think it takes time before a language feels more and more comfortable. I mean, I C# and TypeScript I feel very comfortable with, but I've been writing them for 6 years or whatever pretty regularly. So I think it'll probably take another several years of writing Rust regularly to get very competent and comfortable with it. I'm not going to give up though. I'm going to try to. Let's see, call Fibonacci. So we go. Do I have to define an anonymous, I think. I'm not really sure. How do I call Fibonacci? It runs its own Go routines and send numbers into the channel. The concurrent fib function is the consumer. It reads. Ooh. So we do this. Go Fibonacci. We pass in, and we pass in our channel. Then we loop over the channel. Like that. I'm so distracted right now because I'm trying to monitor the network, and I'm trying to also wait for the stream to disconnect again so I can look and see what was going on. Slice, we want to append. Slice, receive. There we go. Oh, I forgot to activate my potion. Complete the log messages functions. It should use an infinite loop. Use a select statement to read from channel emails and CH SMS in the order messages arrive. Log messages with log email and log SMS return when one of the two channels closes, whichever is first. So we do for okay. So we're gonna do select, and then we're gonna do case, and we'll say email. Okay. We'll read from the emails, chan emails, and then we're also gonna say if not okay, then we will return. Otherwise, we will format.println the email. And we'll do the same thing for SMS. SMS, make this S. Unexpected new line. Unexpected keyword case. Oh, what? I don't understand. So that's okay. Oh, I have an extra bracket. There we go. Would help if I could type, huh? Okay. What? Why did I fail? Use an infinite loop, use a select statement, log messages, return when one of the channels closes. I don't know. Whatever have I done wrong, Mr. Boots? Let's see. The assignment says to log. Oh, does it really? Did I misread that? Log messages with. Oh God. I'm sorry. Log SMS. God, I get on to my son for not reading the instructions on his homework assignments, and here I am. There we go. Level 71. The default case in the select statement executes immediately if no other channel has a value ready. Default case stops the select statement from blocking. Alternatively, you can use the blank identifier to ignore the value. Time.tick, time.after, time.sleep. The functions take a time.duration as an argument. For example, if you don't add time.milliseconds or another unit, it will default to nanoseconds. That's taking a wild guess here, probably faster than you want it to be. A channel can only be marked as read-only by casting it from a chan to a, I don't even know what that operator is called. Something chan type. For example, this is our chan. If chan can only be read from in this function. Write-only channels. The same goes for write-only channels, but the arrow's position moves. The assignment. Look, like all good backend engineers, we frequently save backup snapshots of the text.io database. Complete the save backups function. It should use a loop to read the values from snapshot ticker and save after channels simultaneously and continuously. If a value is received from snapshot ticker, call take snapshot. If value is received from save after, call save snapshot and return from the function. You're done. If neither channel has a value ready, call wait for data and then time.sleep for 500 milliseconds. After all, we want to show in the logs that the snapshot service is running. Okay, so we've got a for loop. Well, no, we don't want all that. And then we want to select. And the first case is going to be snapshot ticker or OK. And we will read that from snapshot ticker. Then we'll have a case for save after, which is okay. Save after. And then case save backup, okay. Like this. And then we also need a default. And the default is if neither channel has a value ready, call wait for and then time.sleep for 500 milliseconds. So wait for data and then time.sleep, which is going to be, what was it? Time duration. So 500 times time dot millisecond, like this. Okay. And then what are we doing for each of these? We're calling called take snapshot. So take snapshot. This will be save snapshot. Oh, there isn't this. So where did the save backups thing come from? I just made that up. I guess I just made that up. In return from the function, you are done. So save after needs to return. Yes, I think so. So does this not... Only one of these branches is going to execute, I guess, right? So I don't actually need... Do I need a break in select statements? I don't think so. I just disconnected. So I disconnected, but my latency didn't increase at all. I'm still sitting at 11 millisecond ping. Oh, no, I guess there was a little bit of increase in millisecond latency. 25 milliseconds, 13 milliseconds, 19 milliseconds. So I guess there was a little bit of period of time of increased latency when that disconnect happened. But it was very, very quick. Huh. And the network, I guess, graph here kind of showed a spike, didn't it? I'm gonna go put some water on for coffee. I'll leave the chat up. All right. I'll be right back. Oh, I also can switch to the coffee camera too, can I? Well, but the coffee camera's in the wrong place. I forgot to move it. Hold on one sec. Let me move it. Coffee camera, you need to go where the normal camera goes, down here. Or I guess we could put it over here. We can have both. Why not? Why not? All right, I'm going to go start the water and then I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Hello, Satya. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go start the coffee and use the restroom. I think I forgot to start the water when I went upstairs. It's not very smart of me. I need to fix this BRB so it goes to the middle of the terminal. I'm gonna fix that. I'll leave the coffee up while we're waiting on the water. Okay. Declared not used. Oh no, it takes the channel. Oh no, that's right. No, log chain. Does this take log chain too? Log chain? Yeah, that takes log chain too. Oh, it feels so different streaming without music right now. I don't have my headphones in. Declared not used. If value is received from a snap. How many coffees would you typically drink per day? I'd normally make 2 double shots of 18-gram beans to approximately 36 grams of espresso. I haven't been drinking a ton of espresso lately. Like this morning, I had a I guess I had a black eye this morning. I had a cup of coffee from a Keurig, and I put a double shot of espresso in that, and then which is I use about the same weight of beans. And then I might have, I don't know, another 1 or 2 cups of coffee. Like this will be my second. Been working on my latte art game. Still rather terrible at it. Almost as bad as my Rust code. I've never attempted latte art, so I'm guessing my latte art is equally equally reprehensible. Yours is probably much better. Yes, my Rust code is probably nothing to write home about either. But that's okay. I'm having fun. You know? That's what matters. Okay, I've had that error twice now. So I don't think this is what they were getting at. See, if a value is received from snapshot ticker, call take snapshot. If a value is received from save after, call save snapshot and return from the function. You're done. After all, so do we really not need either of these? That can't be right, can it? Can't be right. Yeah, I don't really... We're going to have Boots help us again. I don't, again, really understand this thing we're writing. We aren't using either of the values returned from the channel anywhere in the logic that is described in the assignment. I have so much baked salmon. I've just been storing it up, but the fact that I have so much and I made it through C and through DSA. Let's see. You're right. What's with the boobies? What? What boobies? Is that discard in Go? The underscores? Oh, that's funny. Is that what you were calling? The underscore, yeah, it's like a discard. Yeah, like you're ignoring the return value. Let's see. Think about it this way. It requires at least one new variable. It's not a new variable. It's a placeholder. That means discard this. When every single name is left, a channel receive in a select case can look like this or this. Or what's the simplest form if you don't want to capture anything at all? Look back at the... Oh. Okay. You don't want anything. Sometimes I overcomplicate things. Submit. For a second, Bradley, when you said, what's with the boobies, I thought, is there boobies on my stream right now? I kind of panicked a little bit inside. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna get my YouTube channel banned. Okay. What happens when you read from a nil channel? The sender will block forever, the receiver will block forever, a panic ensues. Blocks. So if you read, if a receiver will the receiver block forever or will the sender? C is nil. Now we're reading from it. So you block. What happens when you send to a closed channel? You will induce a panic. Run the code as is. You should see that it doesn't do anything interesting. No ping or pong messages are printed. Fix the bug in the ping pong function. Remember, if a program exits before its go routines have been completed, those go routines will be killed silently. Which of the function calls probably shouldn't run in the background as a go routine? This one. All right, now we're talking about mutexes. I've risen from the shadows. That's so dramatic, man. It's so dramatic. Hello, how are you? Welcome back. Drama's my third name because my second is Vegeta. No, Kakarot, we can't do that. We must try. That's my best Vegeta impression. I actually kind of hated Vegeta. Like the first time watching through Dragon Ball, I didn't really like him. You are American dubbing guy, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what the originals sound like. I've only ever watched them dubbed. Let's see. Okay, mutexes allow us to lock access to data. Assignment. We send emails across many different Go routines at text.io. To keep track of how many we've sent to a given email address, we use an in-memory map. Our safe counter struct is unsafe. Update inc and value methods so that they utilize the safe counter's mutex to ensure the map is not accessed by multiple Go routines at the same time. We just have to do s.mu.lock, all right? And then we have to unlock it, s.mu.unlock, I believe is how you say those. And we should defer it and just move it up here like so. Me neither. I'm French dubbing one. Vegeta got so great voice there that 100% gives you fucking jerk impression. Yeah, that's what I thought about. I mean, my stance or my viewpoint of Vegeta changed over time, but initially, yeah, I just thought he was a villain. R.I.P. Nappa taken too soon. What is Nappa? Now that I see a picture of him, now I know who he is. But I had no idea that was his name. I couldn't have told you his name. Man, there's so many. Whenever I look up Dragon Ball Z stuff, like I'm looking at his Dragon Ball fandom page, and it's showing like a list. I'm pretty sure I saw all of Dragon Ball. I'm pretty sure I saw all of Dragon Ball Z. And I know I've seen at least one movie, but I think there's stuff that I missed. Like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Xenoverse? Dragon Ball Xenoverse? Oh, there's 3 of those. Oh, are those video games? I don't think I've played those at all. I mean, that's awesome. It means I have more stuff to more stuff to watch, but I guess I just every time I look it up I realize maybe Toonami didn't show me everything growing up. R.I.P. Steven. The circle of death is happening again. Oh, did it lag out again? I'm sorry. You might probably missed a lot. Like I missed until I watched the Japanese version. The censorship in several countries went very much. Okay. Well, yeah, then I probably did miss some stuff for sure. Faux show. Well, now I have unfettered, uncensored access. I've never watched any anime other than Dragon Ball Z. I've watched, I guess, some. I don't know, does Gundam Wing count as anime? I've watched Gundam Wing. I recently watched the Devil May Cry Netflix series, if that counts, but I thought that was amazing. Music was so good. Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry. Nope, I've never seen that one. I kind of secondhand watched a anime on Netflix that my sister, or not my sister, my brother-in-law and my wife watched and really liked. I don't remember the name of it. Two sisters. It was like two sisters and they were fighting, and I don't really remember much more of the plot line than that. Arcane, that was the name of it. Arcane. I sort of secondhand watched that because I was in the room when it was on, but wasn't locked into it. Wow, that show has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. That's crazy. Yeah. Does the last Airbender, does Avatar count as anime? Does Avatar count as anime? Riot Games, League of Legends. Is that where the Arcane storyline came from? Was League of... Arcane. Riot Games. Oh, it is, yeah. League of Legends. It's an animated steampunk, yeah. Yep. Interesting. I had no idea. Guess it shows how much I've played League of Legends. I don't know. I feel like Avatar counts as anime. In my very astute, professional, expert anime opinion, I feel like Avatar counts, and I liked Avatar. I'm a glutton for punishment. Played League since 2012. Very cool. Yeah, I've never been a big League of Legends player, but I've never been a big PC gamer either, right? And that's primarily a PC game, right? Or can you play it on the Xbox? Oh, I guess you can, huh? Oh, it's on Game Pass too. Maybe it's time for that to change. I haven't been playing very many video games. I've been using basically all my free time to program. I was there 3,000 years ago when Dota and Warcraft 3 Good times. First versions LOL remind me of those times much. That's hilarious. I was there when the old magic was written. It's a great game. Can be pretty toxic, very hard to learn, to be honest. Well, I'm okay with learning hard things. And toxicity doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't bother me. I came up on the Call of Duty multiplayer voice chat. It doesn't get much more toxic than that, in my opinion. And my kids are always like, why won't you let us use voice chat? Well, there's reasons. There's reasons. But that's true. Those were so different times where quality mattered more than money. Yeah, I think people realizing that games drew big audiences, right? I think there for a while, gaming was just seen as this like isolated nerd culture. Then it eventually busted into the mainstream, and corporate types realized, oh wow, nerds are willing to spend a lot of money on the things they're passionate about. Now 3,000 years later, games suck more and more. Yeah, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that they. I don't know. It's not that they entirely suck though, because I still get a lot of enjoyment out of the games that I do play, and my kids seem to really enjoy the games they play. Now, granted, there's a little bit of recency bias there because they obviously don't know, like they weren't there, right? They weren't there in 3,000 years ago, so it's hard for them to have any. What do you call it? It's hard for them to have a frame of reference like you have. I just use AI to write a positive review for a game. I'm cooked. Well, I think that's what's called using your powers for good, not evil. So I say if the game benefits and the makers of the game benefit, more power to you. Performance suck, quality suck, DLSS, FSR suck, yuck. Love my Nintendo DS. I don't have a Nintendo DS. I have a Nintendo 3DS, but I don't play it much. The free-to-play models like Dota, League, COD, Warzone did so well with horizontal progression, with cosmetics, skins, etc. You wanted to give money because the game was so good. Now Steam is filled with early access slot for $40. Is it? Oh, okay. So that's interesting to me because I'm not really up to speed, Bradley, on the Steam stuff. Is that just because people are using because of AI, the ability to make a game has been so. The barrier to make a game has been so lowered that people are just vibe coding out games and submitting them to the Steam store, that type of thing? Or what's the reason for the early access slop? I guess I'm not exposed to that, I guess, quite as directly. Let's update our same code from last assignment. Let's see, making a game is still different, I think. The reason, in my opinion, is the time cost involved to make a game. It's less risky, I guess, to half bake it than put it up and see how the sales go. So it's like the MVP, right? It's like minimum viable product for games type of thing. Hey, what's up, Toad Sage? Nice to see you. What the dog doing? We are doing boot.dev. We're currently going through their Go course. I think we have 3-4 more chapters to go. We might be able to finish it today if we're diligent. The dog is doing woof woof. The dog is not down here right now. The dog is upstairs, probably still sleeping. It's my son's birthday today, so I'm guessing my wife's probably gonna get up here in a little bit and go get donuts so the dog might come down here. No one wants to create their own game engines because it's too time consuming and they rather use UE and Entity. I feel like a lot of people only use the Unreal Engine and Unity. Yeah. Just people trying to make a buck. I mean, I don't have anything against people making a buck, but I understand why that can be annoying to just have an onslaught of sloppy video games being published to the Steam store. Only lock the mutex for reading, okay? So this can be that. Oh. Leave that there, and I need to change the methods. So concurrent reads, we do R unlock and R lock. There we go. See you, Gun Heist. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day. I started out doing game dev, and let me tell you, it's hard to make a great game. There's so many considerations. I saw that industry isn't great, and I can get a better rewarding career doing web dev. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think my perception, or at least an outsider's perception of game development, is that it's a really difficult way to make a living, very turbulent. I feel like if you're going to be a game dev, you better have a pretty deep pocket of emergency savings, because it seems like every few years there's this upheaval in the business model and the games market and the companies and a bunch of, I mean, these companies are always making money, but the people who always get the shaft, right, seem to be the people who actually make the games, including not just game devs, but including designers, writers, all the people that are involved in that process. Reminds me of a lot of probably what you see happen in like the television or film industry. Let's see, I'm building on from scratch in C++ to learn CG from Cherno and C. Muratori. Oh, Casey Muratori, nice, nice. Handmade Hero, what's CG? I'm not familiar with that. I know who Casey Muratori is. I know what Handmade Hero is. I've never watched any of the Handmade videos, but I know what it is. Oh, computer graphics. Nice. Nice. Very cool. Are you enjoying yourself? You having fun with it? As long as that, you know, as long as you're enjoying yourself and having fun and learning stuff, I call it a win. People talk about the one guy who made Vampire Survivors, or that one guy who made Flappy Birds, made millions, not the 1 million people who spent 2 years and made $25 in game sales. Yeah, true that. True that. Yeah, that's the what is that? The survivorship bias, survivor bias. We you know, it's like businesses in the United States, you know, being a small business owner over here is kind of like seen as like this magical way to get wealthy, but the fact of the matter is the vast majority of people who start businesses or run small businesses end up failing. You know, it's just the way the numbers work out. So it's a pretty risky endeavor that a lot of people treat like the, you know, number one way to get yourself out of the middle class. And honestly, you're probably much better off just working for somebody else and being financially responsible. Oh, whoops. No, sorry. That's my bad. Okay, now we're talking about generics. This is a hot topic. This is a hot topic. or I understand it's a hot topic in the Go community. Some people like the fact that they added generic. Some people hate it. Complete the get last function. It should be a generic function that returns the last element from a slice, no matter the types stored in the slice. If the slice is empty, it should return the 0 value of the type. So we do var last t, and then we just return last. And then we check to say if length of s equals 0, return last. Otherwise, we can say last equals the length of s minus 1. Whoops, last equals s. People only remember people only remember success of others and failures of themselves. Yeah, we definitely have a bias for that. I also think we have a bias just for not we have a bias for not talking about our failures, right? So if somebody is successful in business, you know about it. Other people want to interview them, they want to talk about it, they want to tell a story about it. But if you start a business and you crash and burn and go bankrupt or completely wreck your financial life, that's something you don't want to promote, something you don't want to talk about. So there's a bias, right, in like what information actually gets into kind of our media diet, I think, that skews our perception of reality in a significant way. It reminds me a lot of how in kind of parent culture there's a very loud contingent of people who are constantly running around spinning parents up about the dangers of being online, right? And like all these terrible things are going to happen to your kid if they play video games or they use the internet or whatever, which I'm not going to say there aren't. There isn't a possibility of that. There is. But the factor of the matter is that most of the dangers and the harms that are present or potential threats that are present in your kid's life as a parent are actually the people closest to you and closest to your kids. It's one of those things where that's not a really fun thing to talk about or say. So the thing that ends up kind of consuming the largest portion of our mind share is actually the thing that has the least probability, right? Or the lowest probability of occurring. And our attention should be focused on the higher probability stuff. I think every person should have a person AI agent. So when a company uses an AI agent, they hire your AI agent and you get paid. Well, that's the double standard that exists between employee and employer. It's perfectly fine for the employer to use AI to make their hiring processes faster and better, but it's not acceptable for the employee to use AI in return to make their job hunting process easier and more manageable. That's how you know so much of the world is not based on principles. It's largely based on what's good for me, right? It's largely a selfish perspective of the world. And you have to be aware of that as an individual, because so many of the things that you think are right are really just thoughts and opinions that other people came up with that benefit them, and they want you to follow along with because it's good for them, but it's not necessarily good for you. right? Like the whole idea about not talking about your salary or not discussing pay with your coworkers. All that kind of stuff. Buying a home is the way to get wealthy, and at least in the United States, that's a narrative that serves a lot of people but doesn't necessarily serve a lot of individuals. There's lots of things like that in our lives that are kind of these unquestioned assumptions and beliefs we have. That being said, go hire my agent. Which code would generics be most likely to help with? Probably calculating the area of a circle. Why binary tree? Oh, because anything can be in a binary tree? Okay, that makes sense. To support as many useful features as possible. To never add new features the language doesn't change. Resist adding new features unless they're extremely important. When I see AI written content, especially PR descriptions or JIRA pages on feature write-ups or architecture plans, I don't even want to read it. I want to read stuff written by humans with all their flaws and all. Am I now old-fashioned? I don't think you're old-fashioned. I think that's innately human. It's why robots playing football will never be a sport in the United States. We don't care about watching robots compete, right? We care about watching humans compete. We care about the trials and the triumphs of it all. You know, it's inherent. I also think it's a really. I had this idea for a video for YouTube. There was a video I saw. Let's see. It was an ad, I think. People without phones. This was a while ago. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. There was a video. It was basically a video where there was a bunch. It was a bunch of footage of people doing like ordinary things, and the footage or the pictures were of people holding their phone while they were doing said thing, and then the people who made the video like edited the phone out, right? And it was just to try to, I guess, drive home this point that how strange the world looks now, right? With and without a phone, and how strange it looks when you don't have a phone. Something like, it was kind of like this in this same bent. But I had this idea for a video to basically do the same thing, but to paint the picture of what it would be like to live in a world where everyone uses AI to generate all their thoughts in writing. So I thought, like, you know, it would be funny if, for example, if me and Bradley were chatting in the chat right now, instead of me saying, replying to Bradley saying, you know, if I read his chat and it says, guess you can't do that with humans, and I said, instead of responding to that, I would then copy and paste that into Gemini, and I would say, please write a friendly, kind, polite reply to Bradley to address his comment. Right? That's how our conversations went. Like, I would say something to you, you would then, instead of responding to me, your response would be some meta prompt. Like, how weird would the world be if that's all we exchanged was these meta prompts, and the output was not really our own. It's just the instructions that we gave to get to the output. That would be such a weird. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But on the surface, like on the surface, we don't think that's happening, but that's really what's happening. Like, when you have a conversation with a coworker over Slack and you ask them a question, and they're just turning to ChatGPT and pasting it in there, and then copying, pasting it back into Slack or email or YouTube comments or whatever, or LinkedIn. That's if we really were to peel back the veil, that's what the conversation looks like. Gemini, draft a response to this reply. Gemini, now they've said this. Please please argue why they're wrong about these three things. Like, it's just a lot of that passing back and forth the results of prompting. And that seems very dystopian. But it seems like that's where we're headed. I hear so many people now say they can't write something without consulting ChatGPT. I mean, it's one thing to consult ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever when you want them to like review it. Review it. Tell me if I made any mistakes. Like, correct my spelling. Like, I get it. Like, we've had spelling and a grammar check for forever now, right? It's like a thing of life. But you would think you would at least want to take a shot at expressing your thoughts by yourself at least one time, you know? This is all of my PR comments. I'm talking to an AI model. Yeah. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening everywhere all the time with the written communication, and we're all pretending like it's not, but it is. I think about the fucked up social life without your phone once. Yeah, weird. It is weird. Copy, paste my replies into AI, blindly paste the response. Exactly. Gemini, please respond to Bradley's copy paste chat message. Thank you. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm not a boomer, but I guess what I'm saying is I understand your desire, Bradley, and I think it's a completely natural desire. I think humans tend to be incredibly, not incredibly lazy, but we tend to just look for the path of least resistance in all things. And it's much easier to have something else do your thinking and writing for you than to do it yourself. Yeah, everyone's trying to pass it off as their own. Yeah, everyone's trying to pass it off on their own. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And I don't know what to do about it. I guess it's just the world we live in now. It's the world we live in. I also think there's this weird thing that's happening with AI where a lot of the vitriol that you experience from people when you criticize AI or you have issues with AI, a lot of that vitriol, I think, is people having a reaction to the feeling that somebody is accusing them of doing something wrong. And so the vitriol is them looking for ways to justify, right, why they're using AI and why they're engaging in these behaviors. And they look at the criticism as sort of an assault on themselves and their own identity. It's very similar to like identity politics in that way, where it's very difficult to criticize or be critical of the technology without people feeling deeply emotionally connected to that criticism, which is sort of ugly. I can allow to use AI for professional emails and stuff, but for casual chatting, can't assume that era. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in that era. I'm definitely not critical. I'm definitely not critical of AI use, right? It's just the passing back and forth of like blindly copy and pasted outputs that you have no investment in, right? This thing has 3 return values. I really care about my craft. We spent countless hours learning to write and build programs and taking some pride. I feel like it's going down the drain. Yeah. I don't know if it's going down the drain, but it definitely seems like the consensus is that the way we've done the work historically now needs to be done differently. And I think if you're writing code and doing programming and building software in your own free time for your own company or your own business, you can do it however you want, right? It doesn't matter. I think if you're trying to remain employed and working, you might have to find ways to adapt to this new world and be able to just make peace with, when I'm at work, I have to build software in this type of way. And if I want to do it in the way that I actually find pleasing and enjoyable, I'm going to have to, it's like the difference between, doing something. It's like the difference. I think it's the same thing probably a lot of other creative professions have experienced in the last 30, 40, 50 years, where if you're an artist today, you probably work with a certain set of tools and do things a certain way at work because there's these economic constraints and productivity requirements. But when you do it for your own expression or your own for your own enjoyment, it looks another way, unfortunately. But it just seems like so much of the decision makers of the industry and in companies have sort of made up their mind. Or I guess you could always go and find somebody like, Jonathan Blow, right? I don't know what it would take to actually be good enough to work for Jonathan Blow, but there's somebody there are probably people out there in the world like him who just are fundamentally opposed to doing work with it, and so you could get a job working for somebody like that. But we're definitely in a new era, right? New era, new times. Just assume Steven's saying, hey, Gemini, say some beautiful word to my wife. Exactly. Wouldn't that be so weird to live? Like, I just thought that would make like a very funny, jarring, attention-grabbing kind of video, right? Like, you just literally make a video where you record everyday interactions, but you basically show that everyone's passing and filtering their thoughts and words through AI tools. I feel like it would be actually kind of funny. Good morning, Justin. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ryan, nice to see you, Ryan. How are you doing? The Sith killed the paid orchestra industry for musicians. Well, there you go. See, there's an example. I think, yeah, and I think it's interesting and probably helpful and beneficial to find analogies, right, in other professions to what we're experiencing in software, because it kind of helps us figure out, maybe what their future looks like, or how we can find balance, right, or how we can adapt successfully. Completely agree, Bradley. You just don't feel connected to it. I think that's every time I use AI to write code, I feel like it's not mine, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to share it. I don't feel a sense of accomplishment over it, right? I think that's why fundamentally in my free time, I still like to write a lot of code by hand, because I feel a little bit like I feel even more like an imposter than I already do when I use AI to code. Ryan, are we in the same boat? I don't know if we're in the exact same boat, but I think we're something like that. I think we're trending along a similar trajectory. Yeah, I do. Now, could this all change? It could all. I think we're trending on the trajectory of LLMs become part of developer tool chains the same way IDEs and language servers have become part of our tool chain. It's just this omnipresent tool that you're, as a developer, you need to be aware of and know how to leverage and how to use. I think that's where we eventually end up. Once all this kind of hype and the companies and the frontier model companies, and once everybody figures out the business model, and largely programming and coding has become kind of the killer app for large language models in terms of what actually makes money. And I think eventually it just becomes this piece of technology that's a part of our work, the same way certain tools have become part of graphic designers' work or artists' work, right? It's just, most movie editors don't cut actual physical film anymore, that type of thing. For better or for worse. I think using AI for coding is mostly similar to using highly smart, intelligent, static analyzer. I think I would agree with that up until the point where we start talking about people who who use these agent harnesses to like dump out 100,000 lines of code, in 8 hours. It's been a rude awakening for me going from a smaller company with minimal AI usage, human PR reviews, proper discussions to full-blown drink the AI Kool-Aid. I have to adjust. I bet that has been hard, Bradley. And I find myself in the other camp. I find myself in the smaller company, minimal, like all those things you described. That's more of my current environment, and that's why I've always tried to be really empathetic for people that are in what you're now having to adapt to, which is a completely different set of constraints and requirements. And I think it sounds like you're doing the best you can, and I think that's all you can do, right? You gotta make boss man happy. You gotta earn the money. You gotta put food on the table, pay the bills. Computers turn mathematicians into the first computer scientists. We still have mathies, but they're more fundamental skills, researchers, educators. I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think there's something to be said. This is probably just another motivating factor. Like if you want to work if you want to work or build things or do things a certain way, you really have to consider putting time and effort into building some sort of a business or a revenue, right? Or following, right? Patronage of some kind, right? If you want to make movies a certain way, you want to make pictures a certain way, right? If you want to make clothing a certain way, you've got to sort of build a brand around it that people want to connect to. And so maybe that's what a lot of developers or software engineers who don't want to spend their time being agent wranglers, maybe that's the alternative is like, good software is good software. If it solves a problem, it solves a problem. No one really cares whether or not it was handwritten or not when it comes to your end user. So, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Some people will care. Some people will care that, just like some people care that their clothes are made in the United States or somewhere else. Just like some people care about the story behind the food that they buy, right? Like there's going to be people who care that like a lot of time and attention went into the products that they use. And so maybe that's the move for developers who don't want to do the AI slop or prompt factory work. Is they want you got to build up sort of a artisanal type of business up around you and brand around you. Short term, go for the general public. Yeah. It reminds me of this guy that I found on YouTube. He makes bread. He has a small bakery. I think he's in Vermont, maybe, or Connecticut. I bet I can't even find his YouTube channel. I wonder if I'm subscribed to it. But like, there's definitely gonna be the opportunity, if you want to carve out these kind of like niche brands or niche businesses, right? And maybe you could go and work for one like that, right? Maybe you can find people who, care, right? Another company that comes to mind is like that Futo company, the people that make Image, right? That's a good example of a company that's probably largely supported by people who just care about having a particular kind of software made in a particular kind of way. I just always think of Kevin Kelly, like the 1,000 true fans thing. Like if you could just find 1,000 people who really like your product and really care about your brand and what you do and the things you make, maybe you can then support yourself in some way doing that. Yeah, I really like that framing, Justin. Short term, go for the general public. Long term, dig your own niche well, go deliver. Yeah, I really like that framing because it doesn't paint it as either or. It paints it as both are viable options, and you just need to kind of pick where you want to invest your time and energy. And you're also completely capable of sort of switching between the two, right? Whenever it suits you. I like to think humans are more forgiving of other humans making mistakes more so than computer programs. Oh, for sure. For sure we're going to be more forgiving of ourselves. Yeah. And honestly, until the lawyers can figure out how accountability works, a lot of this autonomy and robots and AI stuff is kind of mute, right? Because you can't sue an algorithm, or at least not yet. So like there's always going to be this question of like what, you know, we're a country run by lawyers, at least in the United States, and so until they figure that out, a lot of this is just theoretical pie in the sky type stuff. Yeah, the risk of it is just too great. Okay, if balance, check if the user has a balance with enough items to be able to pay for the cost of new item. So what is new item? So if new item get cost, in my opinion, accountability lies with the developer of any tools like that. It should. It really should. 100% it should. That's how I would view it. And I think once they establish a framework around that, which I guess today the framework kind of is like that. Like if you produce, yeah, I guess like you can't blame it on the AI today. You can't blame it on, you're still, as a company or as an organization, you're still liable for what you make and create. Best way to get sued for your AI robot arm, mangling people's brains. Don't build an AI robot arm that does brain surgery. I don't know, man. When you hear some of these breathless posts on tech Twitter, God, you would think we're living in Cyberpunk 2070, you know, like I swear, man. Let's see, if they don't, then return an insufficient funds error and 0 values for the other values. So we're returning an error, float, and t. So we need to return nil. We need to return 0.0, and we need to return errors.new insufficient funds. Okay. If they do have enough funds, add the line item to the user's history by appending the new item to the slice of old items. This new slice is your first return value. Okay, so results items equals append old items, new item. In the same way, hold on, what'd you say? In the same way you sue for malpractice if a doctor, say, operates while drunk or something, maybe some dev who pushed bad code and Elon's robot taxi ran someone over, they would be liable. Well, I would think the company would be. I would think in today's framework, I mean, I guess this would have to go to courts, but I would guess in today's framework, like the company that made the thing that did the running over, right? They would be the ones who you would go after for negligence. See you, Toad Sage. Thanks for hanging out, man. It was good to see you. It's been a minute. I hope life's treating you well. I thankfully exist exclusively on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace can be equally as devastating to one's well-being as tech Twitter, just in a different way. A friend of mine, his wife would always crack jokes because it seemed like every other day he was running out to pick something up, whether either for free or very cheap, that he just couldn't possibly pass up the opportunity for it on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the everyman's casino. That's got to be one of the better comments or chat messages I've gotten on YouTube. That's so good. What a great analogy. Yeah, I guess that's an accurate way to describe what, or I guess it's an accurate way to describe which socioeconomic class you resonate with more, right? Do you go to Vegas or do you scroll Facebook Marketplace? Calculate the user's new balance by subtracting the cost of the new item from their balance. This is yours. Okay. So new balance equals balance minus new item dot get cost, like that. And then we'll return new result items, we return new balance, and we return nil for the error. For real. Yeah, it is for real, dude. That's so fucking funny. My wife and I talk about shit like that all the time because where we live is kind of like it's just kind of a hoitier area. You know, people tend to be a little bit more well off than maybe the people we grew up with or feel the most comfortable around. So we're always making comments like that. Bradley, I got abused on FB Marketplace because I refused to pay to post an item I had up for free. They wanted you to pay to post? Is that a thing on Facebook Marketplace? That seems lame. That seems super lame. Seems like it kind of defeats the purpose of what Facebook Marketplace is for, right? Like, why are people such dicks like that, you know? It's like you go into Discord servers that have like, it's almost like a cult when you get in there because they got all these rules and roles and you can do this, but you can't do that. Like, I don't know why humans do that. It's like wherever you find a group of humans, there's going to be another group of humans that wants to turn it into a caste system. I told them if they PayPal me the postage cost, I'll mail it, and they went off saying I was scamming them. Oh, dude, that sucks. Yeah, that's lame. Why might you create an interface using a type list? Parametric? How do you say that? Parametric? Your interface definitions, which can later be used as constraints, can accept type parameters as well. So the store interface represents a store that sells products. It takes a type parameter P that represents the type of products the store sells. The bookstore struct represents a book that sells books. Okay. The chief architect at Text.io has decided she wants to implement billing with generics. Specifically, she wants us to create a new biller interface. A biller is an interface that can be used to charge a customer, and it can also report its name. Ah, crap. My internet just disconnected again. Son of a bitch. Oh, man. I gotta figure that shit out because that's getting annoying. For higher value items, be wary because people will scope your place and come back and steal it. Dude, that's some dark shit right there. Okay, there's a bug in my term chat. No, not that one. Repository term chat. For whatever reason, whenever YouTube disconnects, it doesn't reconnect like Twitch does. Let's see. When YouTube receiving task is interrupted, it is not reconnecting. Twitch chat does just fine. Yeah, so that reconnected it. Okay, interesting. Interesting. We'll have to figure out what that bug is. I have some logging set up, but I don't see... invalid, unterminated. Oh, do I have to escape that? Sorry, I'm trying to grep through the logs to see if there are any errors there. Exception occurred. That was at 10:28. That's UTC. So that was 4:28. So that was a while ago. It's 5:28. So that's 2 hours ago. Is there any warnings in here? Warn. No. Interesting. So something is also swallowing the airs. See, Bradley. Have a good day, man. No errors. Warnings are being logged either. So if the chat is disconnecting, we are swallowing exceptions. Probably be good to build a test. To build test servers for each service that allow programmatic execution of messages / conditions. Make testing easier. Okay, back to boot.dev, sorry. I'm kind of using my streams as a way to also test my pet projects. All right, so create the new biller interface. So biller, let's see. The method charge takes a user or takes a org. So that's kind of our type parameter. So we can say, oh no, customers are type parameter, which I guess means then we need to say charge. Where's charge? Charge is here. Grab that. Put that there. Now, instead of taking org, we'll pass C here because org is a type of customer, right? We still want to return bill. Then we'll also do the same thing for name. And we'll just replace, oops, just replace this here. See, in call test biller type org biller of test biller does not match biller C. Cannot infer C. Should have two methods, charge and name. Good news is, yep. Okay. So what did we screw up? So maybe it shouldn't be customer. Maybe it should be some other interface type. Let's see, line what? Line 59? Line 59. It says not to edit anything below that line. Don't edit below this line. Okay, so I show. Oh, I shouldn't type this. There we go. That was easy. Okay. The name of a type parameter must be T. Can be anything, but T is a common convention. Can and should be whatever you want. Lack of enums. My least favorite part of Go, glad you asked, is Go's lack of enums, some types and tagged unions, etc., compared to other statically typed languages like Rust, TypeScript, and OCaml. Go's type system just isn't as powerful. It's more similar to C's type system than it is to Rust. It's more concerned with simplicity than it is with expressiveness. In Rust, like Go, errors are just values. In Go, we write something like this. In Rust, we can do something like this. In Rust, the getUser function returns a result type, a type that is either OK or an error. The compiler forces the developer to handle the error case before they can continue with the happy path. In Go, the developer can choose to happily ignore the error value if they choose and use the user data, even if it's invalid. The support for enums in Rust makes it easier to write bug-free code. A lazy Go programmer wrote the handle email bounce function. Just because the compiler doesn't force us to check errors doesn't mean we shouldn't. Take a look at the updated status and track methods in the user Go file. Handle their errors properly and use the format.errorf function and the %w formatting verb to add useful context to the errors. If update status fails, return an error saying error updating. User status error. If track fails, return an error saying error tracking user bounce error. Where error is the error returned by the method. Okay. If update status fails, so we want to do, oh, my toast notification worked. Said I lost connection to Twitch. Well, that's cool. That worked. Twitch, you there? Okay. So the receiving, okay. Interesting. I'm back. We are so bad. Yeah. Okay. Another bug. It is not reconnecting. When YouTube receiving task interrupted, it is not displaying toast notification. But Twitch does. Let's see what else. When Twitch receiving task is interrupted, it displays toast but doesn't attempt to reconnect. Huh. I should probably have the log level set to debug so I can catch the specific exceptions, huh? That isn't very smart of me. This would be, what would it be? Warn. Those are all expected. Huh. Well, I've got more work to do on that app. Excuse me. So how do I know what these return? I don't know what these return. If update status fails, return an error saying error updating user. Where are the update status and track functions defined? I don't know what they return. See, both of them share a similar shape. They return a single value of type error. Look at their signatures. Oh, and they're over here. Damn it. They're in user.go. They both return error. Okay. So we'll do error. It's early in the morning, okay? I'm just going to use that as the excuse when I miss obvious things. If update error does not equal nil, do something. Do something. Return errors dot new. Error updating user status %v e. And we need to import then we're going to do the same thing down here. First time catching the stream live. Love the format. Used to stream a little bit of coding myself back in like 2014. This is really fun. Was the term chat built entirely on stream? No, I did the term chat thing off stream. That was a, or I guess I did a little bit of it on stream, like a tiny little bit, but then the AI bros kind of forced me to stop doing things on stream. So I took that project offline, but it was a lot of fun to build, and I'm still hacking on it. It's got bugs and stuff, and that's why I'm using it right now to test. Like I have another chat window open on the left over here from StreamerBot, and I'm kind of using that as like a verification step. But yeah, now I'm kind of putting it through its paces to see what issues there are in it. Well, that's pretty cool. You used to stream. You should get back to it. I think there's people out there that, you know, they want to watch people who are actually not just talking to an LLM while they code. So maybe if you're interested in joining the troops of trad coders live streaming, I'm sure people would love to have you. Obviously, I know it's a big time suck too, so I understand if that's not really feasible given your schedule and stuff. Format imported and not used. Oh, I'm not using the right. And what's the signature? Format, and then we pass the error. And we do %w, %w. Get rid of that, get rid of those. Okay, track error defined and not used. Oh. Let's see, one failed. We expected error tracking user bounce invalid event email. And we got user status. This needs to be error user bounce. This is why I should just copy paste things instead of always typing by hand. We got a sharpshooter chest. I don't know how we got that. I think it's because we have armor. Yeah, we're protected by armor. Let's see. We just have 2 more lessons, I think. Yeah, 2 more lessons and a quiz. Okay, this sending channel type that we've created is a union type. It can only be one of three things that we've defined. That means when a developer calls send notification, they can't accidentally pass an invalid sending channel. In Go, we don't have these nice things. We embrace the grug mentality. The closest thing we have, grug mentality, the closest thing we have to a union type is a type definition. Okay, it's a bit safer. Cool. Assignment. Use the following code to answer the questions. In which case will the Go compiler raise an error? So we have pperm. Let's see, read, write, and execute. So admin. So user will cause an error because we've casted the string to this particular type that we've defined. But this one shouldn't cause an error, I don't think. So I think it's check permission user. No, check permission. Yeah, check permission user. No, check permission user won't cause an error. Admin will cause an error. Because our method says it accepts a perm. Perm is an alias for string. Here we've properly turned user into a perm type, which is what our method, our function, so it's admin. Admin. Yeah. Will check permission perm admin raise an error from the compiler? No, it will not. That was a tricky one. Okay. Go has a language feature that when used with a type definition kind of looks like an enum, but it's not. It's called iota. Iota keyword is a special keyword in Go that creates a sequence of numbers. It starts at 0, increments by 1 for each constant in the const block. So in the example above, email is 0, SMS is 1, and phone is 2. Go developers sometimes use iota to create a sequence of constants to represent a set of related values, much like you would with an enum in other languages. But remember, it's not an enum, it's just a sequence of numbers. Define an email status type that uses iota syntax to represent the following states. So we'll do type email status, and then we'll say const email bounced, and that will be iota, and then the remaining ones will be email invalid, email delivered, email opened. This is our quiz, Go Proverbs. Okay, I like this. Go Proverbs. Similar to the Zen of Python that we covered in the Learn Python course, the Go Proverbs are a beautiful collection of wise words from Rob Pike, one of Go's creators. I think we saw this. Didn't we saw this in either the tour of Go or I think we saw it maybe in Learning Go with Tess last fall when we did Learn Go. I feel like we've seen this document before. Which is better? Clear. Which is better? Including a little dependency, copying a little code. Documentation should primarily be written for maintainers of your code. Oh, users of your code. Okay, I'm sorry. I interpreted this as end user, like the end user of your application. Errors are special, something to be caught, just values, exceptions. They are just values. Booyah, 10,000 XP. Let's go. Good stuff. And I got a chest. Did I level up and all that? I bet I leveled up. Level 73. All right. Now what are we doing? Learn HTTP clients. That's the next thing that's up. All right, little break though. Little break. We haven't been using our Pomodoro timer either. I should have been using that. Courtesy of Kale the Mighty. We're on break. Okay, why we're on break though? Go to term chat. Okay, get checkout B. And what do we want to add? We're adding, I think I was adding adding watch streak support. Get ad source, term chat core, Twitch, models, event sub message, get commits, and feature, work in progress on defining model for watch streak. I think that's what was that. I think that's what I was doing. That's the last thing I remember doing on this. Okay, so then let's go ahead and get checkout main, checkout B, fix address reconnection issues. I'm just gonna real quick do ignore. See, Johnny, love your stuff. Keep it up, man. Oh, thank you very much, dude. You're too kind with your words, man. I appreciate that. I'll be here most mornings, so you're always welcome to stop by. I won't be probably doing anything earth shattering, but I'll be enjoying my time and drinking a cup of coffee, so you're always welcome. I'm gonna ignore this just for the time being. User specific. Oh, there's users. Stuff I know, want, and get. Which is kind of redundant because we're in a get ignore. Bugs.md. Does that not work? There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Is kind of hard to see. I know I'm working in a tiny little window. So in my core project, I have two different clients. I have a client that manages the YouTube gRPC stream, and I also have a Twitch client that manages the chat, and both of them essentially just run a loop that's on a task, and we hold on to a reference to both the receive loop as well as the cancellation token that's attached to that loop. And I'm guessing in here somewhere we're swallowing that exception. I say somewhere it's me. Somewhere I must have swallowed the exception. So if receive loop is not null, receive loop.wait. If WebSocket's open, close the WebSocket. Okay, so where's the receive loop at? Where do we connect here? Connect, receive loop. There we go. Task.run. Receive loop. We've got a buffer. What happens when this gets closed? Operation canceled, we break. Otherwise, we catch. And we receive the loop, we log it. I thought I had some reconnection logic in here. Reconnect. So that handles when they explicitly ask for a reconnection, but it doesn't handle retry. Did I not implement that? I know I definitely implemented retry logic for the GRCP thing. YouTube chat client. There we go. But this isn't working. Oh, I guess it's time to go back to boot.dev. I'll have to work on this another time. That's definitely, there's something off. Something's off. Okay. All right, new course. Communicating on the web. Instagram would be pretty terrible if you had to manually copy your photos to your friend's phone when you wanted to share them. Modern applications need to be able to communicate information between devices over the internet. Gmail doesn't just store your emails and variables on your computer, it stores them on computers in their data centers. You don't lose your Slack messages if you drop your computer in a lake. Those messages exist on Slack servers. So how does web communication work? When two computers communicate with each other, they need to use the same rules. An English speaker can't communicate verbally with a Japanese speaker. Similarly, two computers need to speak the same language to communicate. This languages that computers use is called a protocol. The most popular protocol for web communication is HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Throughout this course, we'll be building parts of an online issue tracking app called Jello. It's a typical issue tracker with one key difference. This time it's good, actually. Take a look at get issue data function that I've provided in http.go. It receives information about issues from Jello servers via HTTP as a slice of bytes. In main.go, do the following. Convert the slice of bytes to a string with the built-in string type conversion. Print the string representation of the bytes to the console. So let's just do stir equals string issues. And then we'll do format dot, or I guess log. It should look like a long unformatted string of text representing raw issue data. So what is hangs off? Go log documentation. Log print F or log print line. Log print line. There we go. That worked. Print the string representation of the bias. Oh, okay, so maybe you want %s stir. Maybe that's what they want. Hey, what's up, Fanberg? Steven, stop hallucinating. Oh no. The disconnection happened again. I'm not connected anymore over here. Chat, I've disconnected. So I'm connected to YouTube, but I'm not connected to Twitch. Huh. I wonder what's happening. I need to hold on before I go any further there. We need to reset font size. I need to go into term chat and I need to set I need to set the debug log level on this application of mine so I can catch whatever errors we're encountering. Steven, fix it now. Make no mistakes. I'm not even joking. The other day, I saw a message written by somebody responding to somebody complaining about the response of an LLM. And that person's response to the person was, in order to fix it, they needed to add the words, be very careful, make no mistakes. I'm not even shitting you. Oh my goodness, dude. I didn't even know what to say. I didn't even know what to say. What has the world come to? I'm doing this off stream because that app setting file has stuff that I should not open. That I should not leak. Hello, that's some mentorship. It is some mentorship. it is some expert mentorship. The most mentorship. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So it's creating a new interesting. So which one of these was created earlier? So this was created. So that's still my the YouTube stream always has the same ID. Let's see, this one was created at 4:34. Interesting. Okay, so we can delete this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't think that screws with my disconnection logic because I think that's back where we had it, right? Yeah, that's back where we had it. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Anywho, we're here. Hypothetically, would you ever be down to work on a fighter game? It's a Godot client and .NET on the server. For sure. I don't know anything about games, but I would be happy to work on one. Yeah, it would be all learning. I don't know any Godot either, but I've always wanted to try learning Godot. or Godot. I don't know. How do people say that? Godot? How does, I defer to SpeakerBot. However SpeakerBot says it is what I think you should say. Godot.
Godot.
Goda.
Godot.
Godot. Oh, it says it multiple different.
Godot.
It can't make up its mind. Godot. Okay, I'm gonna say Godot. If you say Godot, I'm gonna say Godot. I don't want to be the odd man out. But yeah, I would totally be down. I've never, like I said, I've never done anything with those, but they would be fun to learn. Oh, my family's upstairs eating donuts. Okay. I'm going to hop off and go celebrate my my son's birthday today. So I'm going to go upstairs and hang out with them. You're using it to learn? Yeah, count me in, man. On Discord, just send me some messages. I'm happy to be involved. Like I said, I don't know how much I can contribute, but I would be happy to tinker, you know? All right, well, to recap the stream today, we did, we finished the Go course, so yay. We got to level 73, also awesome. Our experiment on our internet connection problems was an utter failure. What we did was we tested streaming with the switch that was connecting my computer to the router. We took that out of the equation. That did not help at all. We also changed some settings on my network adapter. Those did not help at all. So I think the next stream that I do, I'm going to try a restreaming service, and I'm going to see if that makes any difference. If that doesn't make any difference, then I guess I'm down to troubleshooting my local hardware. I either need to, I guess, try replacing the router or the cord. So we'll see. We'll come up with tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll probably use a restreaming service to see if that changes anything. If that doesn't change anything, then I guess I'm gonna have to spend some money. Other than that, it was a fun stream. I appreciate you guys all hanging out here. I'll be back tomorrow, like always. I'll be here drinking coffee and trying to play some boot.dev. If you guys are around, come hang out. If not, no worries. I hope you will have a wonderful Wednesday. And if I don't see you for the rest of the week, obviously have a great week. See you, Stefanos. See you, Justin. Anybody else who's still here, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Wishing you the best. Okay, bye. Bye. See you guys.